I'm in Artesia, Mississippi, the site of an attempt by a guy named Hugh Allison Lee to disrupt a political campaign picnic that was being held somewhere in this general area by the African American population of the town. At the time, there was a black militia as well as a white militia, and this was in the mid-1870s. So Allison decided to disrupt the campaign of both white and black candidates, but especially he wanted to disrupt the Republican candidate, and Mr. Bliss was speaking, and Lee, who worked for the railroad, was somewhere over in this, up on the railroad over there, and shot across the crowd. Now, remember that not only was that militia here, there were also families. There were about 400 or 500 people here having dinner on the grounds and with their children. And Hugh Lee thought it would be amusing to shoot at the over the crowd and at the people making campaign speeches. Well, the artillery didn't think that was too funny, and the militia shot back and killed Lee. Lee was a white man. He was from Mobile, Alabama, and quite a political spectacle was made of the fact that a black man dared to shoot back and kill a white man, of course. And so a court case ensued. Nettles, the guy who was eventually accused of pulling the trigger, was acquitted and was back in the militia in 1874-75 in Crawford when another incident happens. And in the meantime, Robert Thompson, our black representative of the time, he was a Republican in a very contentious time when black voters outnumbered white voters in Lowndes County, and at that time were voting, and that was before Jim Crow and the black codes made it very difficult, and the white liners started to threaten and kill voters. But anyways, Bob Thompson was a member of that militia, but he was also a campaigner at the time, and it is often written that in the papers that they tried to accuse him of being associated with the murder of Hugh Lee, even though he had nothing to do with it. But the pejorative of the paper was insinuating that Bob Thompson was a criminal and should be lynched. Fortunately, he survived, served as state representative in the Mississippi legislature for 1 year, and then he retired from politics and moved with his family to the next county, Noxubee County, where he farmed for the rest of his life. Thank you for coming with me on my little tour of Lowndes County and Artesia, Mississippi. And Hugh Lee is, I believe, buried in Alabama, where he's from. And that's the end of the story of Hugh Lee, and first Lowndes County post-Civil War representative from the African American community, Bob Thompson.